This episode is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Everyone thinks they're a Premier League psychic, but now you can actually prove it with Coke Zero's Guess the Goals. All you've got to do is grab a Coke Zero, scan the QR code, and guess how many match week goals are going to be scored in total. If you guess correctly, you'll be entered into a prize draw with 1,000 official Premier League footballs to be won every week. T&Cs apply. See coke.co.uk/plgoals-terms.
Welcome to a midweek special of the Football Fill-In. And lads, do you know what we're going to start with today?
I've got no idea.
No idea? No idea? Right, well, I'll tell you what. We've never started with Nottingham Forest before. Never, ever have we started the show. Never.
Nottingham Forest 0-0 against a relegated team?
Definitely never started for a 0-0 against a relegated team. But we're going to, because I don't think there's many teams that have been relegated or about to get relegated or might get relegated that would have any less sympathy than what Nottingham Forest would have if that was to happen from the rest of the football community.
I really hope they get relegated.
There will be no sympathy for them whatsoever, will there? Because this is not how to run
sympathy
a
for the fans, because it's not their bloody fault.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Right. That is the thing that is the shame about all of this, because I actually quite like Forest. I don't know why.
And me, I do.
I actually quite like Forest, right? But to be in the place that they are, where they've got an owner who just wields that sword every single time something doesn't go right for them.
Do you know what he's used to? He has Olympiacos, and he's used to being one of the superpowers in that league and basically doing what the hell he wants. Yeah. No repercussions, being a big bully, and doing whatever the hell he wants. Yeah. And it don't work in the Premier League.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Well, he's not a big fish in the Premier League, and that's no disrespect to Forest, because actually what they did last year were phenomenal. But he's got such autonomy at that football club. This is disaster, and it's got disaster written all over it. You cannot sack three very, very capable managers.
Yes, mate, all three of them, honestly, proper good Premier League managers, them. All three of them.
And whatever the Forest fans think at the end of that game, and obviously they're not happy, they've not beat Wolves, they're booing, Sean Dyche 100% keeps Forest in the league. Yeah. And I'm not sure where they go from here now.
40% win rate he had at Forest. 40%.
Right, OK, so right, I'd say, OK, well, he must have been on a honking run. Last 6 games, 2 wins, 3 draws and a loss.
What I mean, mate.
Premier League games.
Do you know what? He's just banking on a new manager bounce. That's all he's banking on. Apparently, it's, the Pereira, the old Wolves manager, that he's favourite to get the job, right? Because do you remember when he came in, end of last season, and they won like 6 in a row or something like that? He's banking on a similar sort of bounce from him, from that Forest.
But it's a horrible game now, isn't it? Look, I've been out of it a little while, you even less so. But if you're a coach or a manager now, you haven't even got 3 or 4 games to try and stay in work because of owners like this. It's absolutely farcical. And, all right, the Forest fans boo that game. But they've had 33 shots on goal.
35?
In the first half, I have never seen this in my whole football life. They had a 6v1 and fucking missed.
Yes, they did.
Now, how is that Sean Dyche's fault?
It was 6v1, not only from the halfway line, but all the way up to the penalty spot as well.
Is that when Lorenzo Luca
blazed it over? He slid in and blazed it over.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you looked at it, like you look at the Parma one last night and you look at the Luca, and it was more challenging than the Parma finish.
But mate, it's 6v1, right? I know, Somebody play a better pass across or whatever, but it's like there's too many people there. And Wolves still could have won it at the end.
At the end, he actually stood up well, Ortega, for that shot.
I didn't like the Hudson-Odoi reaction when they broke, though, because he's new signing, right? He's a young guy, new signing, and Hudson-Odoi has absolutely had him off in front of the crowd.
But that's what I think, and I'm going to say it, that's what smells with this Dyche one to me. That's player power, that.
Yeah,
that's player power saying, we've recruited you, you're not good enough, we're not happy with this, we're not happy with that. It's bollocks. They've played a very good game, and the acid test is always to get the ball in the back of the net. Sam made 2 unbelievable saves on a scramble, but ultimately they should win that game. But players are running the rule at Forest there.
I hope he gets a nice little payoff, Dyche. I do. I hope he gets a nice little payoff. I think he had, a year and a bit left of his contract, but I hope he gets a full year's payoff. Yeah. I really do. And I hope he's already booked his flight to Dubai. I do. I really hope he has booked it already.
He'll be on the pina coladas, won't he?
Bloody, he deserves it.
Here's a big question for Dyche, because we all love him.
Is he going in at Spurs?
Well, that's the second question then. But my first question is he finished?
No. Dyche won't be finished because he'll always be this guy who will be able to get a team away from relegation. Because I agree with you. I think he would have got them away from relegation.
You know what, Watto? I think if he'd have had a 20% win rate, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But when you look at 40% win rate, and let's look at some of the other teams in the league across the season. Spurs win rate, 27. Newcastle, 39. Liverpool, 46. Everton, having a great season.
Yeah.
Win rate, 38.5%. So pound for pound,
Yeah, I know.
he's done a very, very good job.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he's done a good job and still gets sacked, I think a lot of clubs will see past that.
So what does the owner base his decision-making on?
Emotion?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be. A 0-0 draw with Wolves, yes, I know. Look, everybody knows there's never must-win games, but it were a game they'd expect to win at home against a team that's relegated. We accept all that. But if you look at everything behind it, the team played well, and on another day, probably win 3 or 4. That's how the game went.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But if he's basing it all on that emotion, and I worked at Forest for 18 months, absolutely loved my time there, but I'm like you, they deserve to reap the rewards, not for the fans, of the ownership. Car crash, man.
I get the impression he's listening too much to the noise, Marinakis. I get the impression he reads too much internet stuff, yeah. He riles himself up. He sits there in the stadium. He hears the boos at half-time. He hears the boos at full-time, right? And he sees the reactions of some of the players and he goes, right, I know what I'll do. I'll just get a new manager in. Instead of, this is the time where you're actually going, right, do you know what? I'm backing the manager. You stand in front of the players and you say, I'm backing the manager here, yeah? We've got a good manager. You're the problem. You lot are the problem.
Surely, from the inside, wouldn't that have been really positive this morning? Even if Dyche were giving the players the day off, Dyche, get them players in tomorrow morning. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah.
Because what they've delivered here today was so positive, really. We just didn't get over the line. But I'm backing them, I'm backing you, and we're going for it to the end of the season.
They're turning into a Watford.
Yeah, they are.
Into a Watford. That's what Watford do. And the
And
problem
it's ownership-based.
It's ownership-based. The problem with Watford is the players know that deep down, whatever manager comes in, he hasn't really got any say. He hasn't. They know that he's 3 or 4 losses in a row away from getting the job.
Their 3 or 4 year contracts not getting cancelled, but the bloody managers will.
Yeah, I know.
That's the. But Marinakis, I disagree to a point. I think he's so used to. I think it's habitual.
Yeah.
That when you have your own way in Greece and you win and you win and you win, and then you lose a couple and go, oh well, we'll just sack them.
Yeah, simple.
Spend a bit more money and back to the top we go. I had a little look at like the last couple of league tables, like in Greece, and they're always up there.
Always,
they're winning it, you know.
always,
they're always up there.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's just a habitual behaviour from them.
Well, the one thing for sure is we'll come on to Spurs, but Spurs are in big trouble for sure. But West Ham are just rubbing their hands this morning.
Yeah.
And Nuno's just thinking, I've got you.
Do you reckon Marinakis would go back in for him?
I wish Wolves. I wish Forest well. I really do. I wish Forest well. But if you do get relegated, there will be very little sympathy from the footballing community. I can promise you that, just because of the way it's been dealt
And
with.
it is a shame because they were in the doldrums for a very, very long time. They were in the Premier League in the early 90s when.
Mate, they nearly got Champions League last season.
Yeah.
It came down to the last game of the season as to whether they were going to get Champions
But the
League.
warning
or
signs,
not.
but we all called it last season when Marinakis stormed the pitch.
Yeah.
And we all kind of went, I think people were going. Online, people were saying, do you know what, it's brilliant, he's passionate. And we were all going, no, it's not.
awful,
There's a way to conduct
Well,
yourself.
Dyche said in his interview at the end last night, obviously a couple of hours before they sacked him, that like the owner had been good with him and all that, which is the right thing to say. But the one thing we know about Dyche is that he's told the manager 100% what the facts are as well.
Yep.
And he might not have liked that.
Yep.
But that's what the facts are, because Dyche then would have kept the team up with the honest appraisal.
Should we talk about Tottenham?
Good point for Wolves.
Should we talk about... Mate, it could have won at the end, honestly. Football was mad. Should we talk about Spurs then, right? So another defeat. I think, honestly, I knew they were going to lose this game. Everybody knew they were going to lose this game. The game is a byproduct of what we're going to be talking about here, because we're going to be talking about the manager, aren't we? Thomas Frank's been sacked. He was sacked yesterday. 9 months in charge. I'm coming to you because you're a big fan of Thomas Frank. I think most people are, in fairness. And I think it's very obvious he'll probably walk into a very good job as well, won't he?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's not good for this show, but I am absolutely lost for words with Spurs.
Yep.
Seriously, they look from the outside, they've got a phenomenal stadium, a phenomenal training ground. I would suggest, when they're all fit, a very capable group of players. And they have had manager after manager after manager after manager some very, very capable managers.
Very high-level managers.
Very high-level managers. And I really don't know what to say because there is something ingrained within that club that is just destined for failure.
To have 2 seasons in a row now where they've been 17th and this season where they are, and we don't know where they're going to finish, but they're right down there.
But why does everyone think that when they finished 17th last season, they were magically going to finish 8th this season?
Because you look at the wage bill, right? You look at what the club are, the stadium, you look at the training ground, you look at everything about Spurs, their revenue that they make every single year. And normally you can go, right, the big boys, Arsenal, Liverpool, you know they're going to be in the top 3 because that matches where that revenue should be, right? Yeah. Spurs are a huge football club, global football club, right, that make incredible amounts of money. So they should be, theoretically, if you're looking at that model, in the top 8, 6, 4.
But
right?
the playing squad isn't that level.
But the wage bill still is lumpy.
Yeah, it is.
So what they've done is recruited the wrong players. Yeah. They've recruited the very similar ilk of players that haven't really got much fight in them. And they've signed up to this Tottenham team where it's like, you know what, failure's kind of not a problem here,
I think what they do, Ben, is they do that reverse model to what Bournemouth and Brentford do. So the Bournemouth and Brentfords, they go to Brazil and Europe and wherever, and they recruit talent.
Yeah.
Serious
Hungry talent.
Yeah. Tottenham think they're a big boy, and what they do is they go, we'll go to PSG and we'll get some of that. We'll go here.
Yeah,
and
but PSG are only ever going to sell them. They're ones that they don't really want.
Second-hand duffers.
Yeah, you can take our second-hand duffers. And there's a reason they're the second-hand duffers, because they haven't got something to succeed
but
at that
they come
level.
with the absolute hefty price tag and massive wages.
Yeah, I totally agree. What your Bournemouths and your Brightons and Brentfords do is they get these players who they can identify as hungry, and they give them this lure of, right, we're going to give you a good wage, yeah, but you know that if you, on this stage in the Premier League, succeed and you are a success, you can go again. And you can double, treble your wages then to a big boy.
You know, we spoke about it being harder for the Uniteds, the Chelseas, possibly the Spurs to recruit because the price goes up. But look at Bournemouth, right? They've just sold Semenyo for, 65 mil, something like that. This Rayan that's come in, 2 goals, 18, 19 years old, looks like an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And I think he was, I want to say he was 10 mil from Gremio or something.
I think it was a bit more. I think it was a bit more than
10.
It
might have been 20.
Yeah, 25 or something
but
like that,
if Spurs go knocking, the price isn't 40 for Spurs, is
75 for Spurs.
It's not, though.
Yeah.
Sure, it's not going to be that much.
It would be.
But why
it
aren't
would be
they?
More. It would be more.
Okay, but why aren't they unearthing these players and getting them for 25?
Because they don't want to be taking them risk on them players. They would rather go to the ones where they go, we know there's a really good player in there, right? Because he's already at a PSG, he's already at an AC Milan. We're going to get him and bring him to Spurs and then really kickstart his career again. That's what they.
But what they actually do is they bring him to Spurs and fuck it up.
Yeah.
This couch is so comfortable, a beautiful couch, isn't it?
Yeah,
but we couldn't even fit the quality of the ex-Spurs managers on here and have a proper debate as to what is wrong and institutionalised with that football club. Because these managers, like Forrest and Dyche, take some of them now to try and stay in the league. They're more than capable of getting teams into the top 10 of that league year after year after year. And Thomas Frank, rightly, will drive into another club when he's fit and ready. But what is ingrained in that football club? Well, I've got no idea. It's just a recipe for failure. Players, staff, managers.
It's accountability, isn't it? We always say there's just a lack of accountability.
It's not a failure for their bank balances, what's it?
Yeah.
Well,
who's the guy that makes all these signings?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Yeah.
Because is that guy getting sacked? Is it the sporting director?
Yeah.
Was it Daniel Levy? Was it Thomas Frank? Who is signing these people?
But the pressure has to come to that department now.
Yeah, of course it
does. Because you can argue about the quality of players and the injury list and all that, but I still think they've got a decent group of players, right? And they've had very, very good managers. So are these players then ultimately not being dived into enough with the homework because they're paying extortionate prices and mentally they're crumbling? So, but that's part of a facet in terms of recruitment. You can keep doing what you're doing for PSG's reserve team or playing in League One or wherever they come from, but what's the mentality to go and play in the best league in the world, in that big stadium, and deliver week in, week out? Because that's what Spurs fans
I
demand.
think, you know, when Romero came out with that little blast last week where he said, like, it's a disgrace, it's disgusting. And I get the impression that... I always have liked Christian Romero. He obviously loses his head like you wouldn't believe at times. That needs to be tempered down a little bit. But I love the fact that he comes out and does stuff like that, because I think he looks around that Tottenham dressing room and says, there's not many like me in here. There's nobody really willing to go and properly do it. And I think that's the bit that really pisses him off.
He is of the Sergio Ramos ilk.
So, I'd rather have 11 Sergio Ramos ilk, that are going to give me everything you've got and fight for it, than the ones who are a bit sort of like, yeah, nice, it's just nicest, let's just play nice passes.
He's ruffling feathers.
You've got to get amongst people, you have.
Yeah, and that club needs feathers ruffled.
Who now then? So Spurs 100% are in a very big relegation battle, right? But who now, because everything that we've just discussed, every Premier League manager, apart from the top 6, would probably say, that's a job I want, as Frank would have said. But who now can they seriously get to take that job on?
Who would you go in for, Ben?
Well, De Zerbi's favourite, isn't he? I think he's not odds on yet. He was evens yesterday. He's slightly drifted today. I think it's 13-8 this morning. He is De Zerbi to get the job. I don't think Tottenham can go down the route of having an interim for the remaining games of the season.
What if they've got an eye on Poch post-World Cup?
But it's post-World Cup, though, isn't it? Then they're going to have to wait for the remaining 3 months of the season.
Poch is not coming in the Championship, mate.
It's good, Watty. It's good. I think De Zerbi is an absolute no-brainer there and then. I like De Zerbi. I think he will be enough of a manager bounce to make them at least not get relegated this season.
Is it an upgrade on Frank? Or is it going to be same cultural problems?
It's not I don't think it's an upgrade, but I think he's got a bit more about him, a bit more nasty about him. Yeah, I've seen De Zerbi falling out with people, and I like that, and I think that's what Tottenham need.
Well, here's one for you, because we know football and we ain't naive. Do you think he's had a little chat already?
De Zerbi?
Yes,
100%.
Well, the fact that I think they lost in the Champions League, then they got pumped at PSG 5-0, and then he left by mutual consent. So he's not taken a payout. No. He's not been sacked. He's obviously left. And now what managers in 2026 leave a football club without a payoff?
Yeah, you don't get many.
Unless they're walking into something pretty sweet.
We know how the world works, don't we? And I would be everything that he's had a chat, for sure. Not to say he's going to accept the job, but he's definitely been...
The 3 favourites for the job are De Zerbi's first, and then it's John Heitinger as like an interim, basically, right. And then it's Pochettino. But I can't see the Pochettino thing happening.
Could you see a world in which Redknapp goes in?
No.
Do you think that's just that time has passed?
I think that time has passed.
Because there's even Big Sam talk.
It'd make them a laughing stock. It would. I think Spurs wouldn't want to do it because I think too many people are going to laugh at him.
This is Ange's quotes from Tottenham.
Tottenham are not a bit... Oh, so this is...
give us that, Jay. Come on.
So Ange went on the overlap yesterday. Yeah. This is Ange. Tottenham are not a big club. We signed Dom Solanke and 3 teenagers. I was looking at Pedro Neto and Mbeumo Semenyo and Guehi.
And that's Ange on his time at Spurs and trying to sign big players.
So he's not managing the club there?
That goes full circle to what you've just said. The players that he's just alluded to on there would have got Tottenham from wherever where did they finish? 17th?
Yeah.
Up to top 6.
Yeah.
100%. And then they sign and that's not disrespectful to Solanke, I think he's a good player, but the other players. But how do you shop at Waitrose, if that's where we put it, and then you're going down to Lidl?
Do you know what it smells of, right? It's like Spurs have got the money to do it, yeah? They've got the money to do it, right? But they always just try to do it a bit cheaper. It's like I've just bought the finest walnut dash shelving unit, yeah? And instead of getting a pro to come and install that I'm just going to do it myself. Yeah, I'm going to do it myself. Sorry, fuck it. I'll have a go at this. I can do this. I can watch a YouTube video and do it myself. If you sign a Semenyo, a Guehi, an Mbeumo, a Neto, right? Oh, they're proper players, Premier League players, right? That will improve you because they've got not only ability, they've got fight and will to win as well. When you're signing teenagers, everything's still possibles. Everything's possibles. And how many teenagers come through that have got all of what we're asking? But these players have. But instead of spending 60 mil on a Semenyo or 60 mil on a Mbeumo or 60 mil on Neto, right? They'll spend a 40 or a 30 mil. Where it's decent, you've got a chance, but no, it's obviously not working.
Do you think, honestly, Spurs could get relegated?
Yes, they're in a relegation fight.
Depending on who comes in.
2 seasons in a row they've been doing this now, yeah? It's not a freak anymore, right? I think we need to get it out of our heads that
they belong up there.
they're not that anymore. If you do 2 seasons in a row, you're there for a reason, okay? It's as simple as that. And people say about injuries, but 2 seasons in a row now. 2 seasons in a row.
I do feel for Frank, because he's done so well at Brentford.
He's likeable. He's very likeable.
27% win rate. Yeah. It's the worst in the Premier League era for a Spurs manager. How will this affect his stock, Watto?
Look, he's damaged, isn't he? The stats are the stats. They don't tell lies. And I'm really surprised it's gone as bad as what it has for him. I have to be honest with that. But yeah, look, he'll take some time to reflect. He'll be hurt by that because he did such a phenomenal job at Brentford. But most managers get hurt at Spurs and walk away and get into something else. So I don't think it'll be the end of him. But look, as a professional guy, you're going to be upset with them facts and stats. But he'll move into something bigger and better.
He's, I think his stock at this level of club, like stature of club anyway, is probably damaged for a bit. But for the club that he came from, Brentford, that ilk of team, middle Premier League, kind of top half of the bottom of the Premier League, I think
a well-run club.
Mate, he's gold dust. He is literally gold
Crystal
dust.
Palace,
gold dust.
Palace he'd be. So obviously Glasnow's going into the season, isn't he?
Yeah.
Someone like Palace he'd be.
Perfect. Yeah, he would be able to improve Crystal Palace for sure.
Yeah. Should we talk about City?
Come on then, let's go. I watched this game last night, actually, City.
What did you make of it?
You know what? Fulham had actually had chances. I won't lie. Fulham actually had chances, but I don't think there was any real belief there that they were going to score. And City were just ruthless.
Routine, weren't it?
It was routine in the end, but they were ruthless.
In the end, that's what the stats give you.
Yeah.
City, home win, 3-0, walk away, job done.
They were talking on Match of the Day last night about the stats and he's won 20 out of 20 versus Silva, Guardiola. And I think they've won 17 in a row or something against.
At full-time, Silva's and Pep, they've just walked to each other, and Pep's just like, sorry, mate.
Yeah.
And even Silva was just like, it's fine, mate. It's what happens, to be honest with you. It's absolutely fine.
What about that Phil Foden challenge, though, on Bassi?
Yes.
Right. Lucky. Very lucky.
Very lucky.
And
very lucky.
You've got in the notes, Romero or a Casemiro tackle.
They walk for that.
Exactly the same. Yeah. It's a red card.
They 100%.
They wouldn't even wait. They wouldn't even wait for the ref.
No, they wouldn't.
So do you think then they're taking into account the type of player that did it?
Yes.
Do you think they're looking at that?
Well, there must be, mate.
That should not be a thing, though, should it?
It shouldn't be a thing because it wouldn't matter if they all had a mask on. The challenge is the challenge. But it's not. It cannot be.
He's not that kind of player. But it doesn't matter. It's a relative, right? That in the letter of the law today is a red card, isn't it?
It was significant. Whether or not he meant to, the ball had got. It was so far gone that it was such an obvious decision. But there was a couple of strange decisions. Was it Semenyo's
hair pulled,
getting his hair pulled, and they said it wasn't basically conclusive. And
you know what? That really was strange to me because they're so hot on this hair pulling thing at the minute.
Yeah, well, everybody wants to pull Cucurella's hair.
Is it Michael Keane? Michael Keane.
Yeah, Michael Keane went, didn't he? Yeah.
That is the worst red card I've ever seen in my life. That is the most pathetic thing. And for him to get a red card for that, and then this one not, I was like, wow.
But you go back to the eternal debate and why VAR is shit because it's supposed to take all this out of the equation. If it's a bad tackle, whether it's Phil Foden or Casemiro, it's fucking red card. That's fact, isn't it? Right? And if you pull somebody's hair, whether you're Michael Keane or whoever you are, it's a red card.
But they're saying it wasn't conclusive or they couldn't quite... And you go, well, right there a second. He stood next to a fella and his head goes back like that, right? What else has happened?
Do you know
there wasn't a sniper in the crowd.
The only other time I've seen that is when Gaza did the dentist chair.
Yeah. The problem we've got to, right, is that VAR is such a talking point and everybody's so aware of it and they know there's so many camera angles that now we're looking for stuff and celebrating stuff that we shouldn't even be focusing on, right? We shouldn't be focusing on this rubbish. We should be really focusing on the beauty of the game and the skill and the technique involved and the pace and the power. We should be really trying to celebrate that kind of stuff. Now, teams are happy to win by a dodgy VAR decision or that should have been regular. And that's what the talking points are now. And that's the bit for me that I'm like, what's the point? That's not football.
Well, let's talk about the positives then. The O'Reilly goal was slick, weren't it?
Very slick. You got him in your fantasy team as well. I'm heartbroken. Jamie's got him on his bench, unlucky. Mate, I scour FPL like you wouldn't believe. A goal goes in, I'm like, who's got him? I'm sure somebody's got him. I'm sure somebody's got him. Lovely finish for him, to be fair. He looked like a sort of midfield striker in that position there at the moment. Because he was so calm with it as well. A lot of players in that position.
If only Forest had just see the timing of the pass and the movement.
Beautiful.
When they'd not got an overload, they'd got an underload.
Yeah,
but just timed it nice, boom, away.
Perfection. There you go. Have a little bit there.
And what about Semenyo? So he's got, what's Semenyo got?
5 in his first 8. 5 goals in his first 8. What a start. But was it ever in doubt? Was it ever in doubt? Anybody could have signed him and he would have done that because he is that good.
I think there was there was that slight question of, does Pep coach the kind of the flair and the raw ability out of him?
I don't think. I love the fact that I think he signed him and gone, right, just carry on doing it, and you're going to start every game for me, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think there was a big doubt about whether he would start, but mate, he fits into that team so nicely. Honestly, the goal though, it's a poacher's goal. It's nothing special.
Yeah, but you don't expect that from him, do you?
Oh no, you don't.
And that's why I think
he's got everything.
He's got everything.
Yeah, he's great.
So what kind of pressure does that put on Arsenal tonight, Watto?
I think it's obviously big pressure. Always when you play last on the weekend or last in the midweek round, you know what's happened all week or all weekend. And look, they knew going into that game they had to win tonight anyway. So mentally it doesn't change it, but the feel's different because you're last on.
Mate, Villa have just won, Man City have just won. The pressure's on, mate. And Brentford are a team. Should we do a little prediction? Should we have our little predictions for the Brentford-Arsenal game tonight?
I think I went draw.
What are you saying?
I want a score prediction. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brentford win.
Well, I'll go 1-1.
Massive.
Well, I'm going 1-1 then because I think they'll both score.
Do you know what? I think Arsenal they've got too much depth.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do it tonight. I think they're going to win 2-1.
Historically, Brentford have always been their bogey team.
Well, one of us is going to get
Brentford
it
or
right.
Bournemouth have been a massive bogey team.
So we got draw Brentford away.
You know, yeah, so somebody's getting it right.
Somebody's getting it right, isn't it?
This episode is brought to you by Expedia. One of the best things about being on holiday is that feeling of total freedom. No alarms, no meetings, no to-do lists. Just waking up and doing whatever you want. You know I like to ride my bike, and one of the best places to do that abroad is Mallorca. But when I'm on a family holiday, we like to stay in the south of the island, Palma. And it's not fair on the family to be out riding my bike for hours on end. So what I like to do is rent a car, get up early doors, drive myself to the north part of the island where the hills are. Boom, job done. Expedia makes these spontaneous moments easier and more affordable with bundle and save. No matter when you book multiple items for your trip, flights, hotels and car rentals, you can save. And if you're a member, you can book one part of your trip first, then add more right up until your last day of travel. It's never too late to save. Book now with Expedia.
Villa snuck over the line as well. It was not a memorable game, but we've got to talk about
Emmy.
Right,
Emmy. Right, I need to ask you about. So this was saved from Kadioglu at 0-0.
Yep.
And Emmy, his body, I'm sure his shoulder's level with a crossbar.
Yep.
Like,
it's great.
the athleticism of this bloke is I think we said it.
6'6".
I think him, Rob Sanchez, Donnarumma, like
Specimens.
absolute specimens. But what I wanted to ask you was, there was a bit of kind of movement on the ball, and he went with his like top hand.
Yeah, so it's to his right, and he ends up saving.
Yeah,
top
and
hand
my question was it because of the ball movement, or could he have made it life a bit easier going for his with his left hand?
Naturally, you will lead to the right for that save, but when you're going to be full extension here, that's where it takes you. It's very hard for your right hand to come in to narrow off to make that save. It just doesn't work. So what you have when your left hand is coming at that point, if the ball's going away, your right hand will make it. But if it becomes in this zone, it's easier to drive across with your left hand because I can see it rather than bend the right hand in for the timing. You understand what I mean?
Is that because he's diving and
he's diving, but your head's got to see through the picture. So this comes through and he sees it and he can just top hand. Where that way is all extended for if it's further, and then the reaction's harder to bring this back into this position and up. It's not as natural as just to bring you across it.
That's some good analysis, that.
Well said. Well, it's almost like he was England's goalie coach.
Yeah,
or something
it's
like
almost
that,
like he knows what he's on about. This bloke.
The top hand as well goes higher. So when if you tilt your body that way and try to stick your arm up, if you stick that arm alongside it, that one's going to be higher, so you can get more purchase on it. And he needed to do it as well because he literally has just got a finger.
Yeah, I mean, if you stick your right hand up and try and come in and then shove up, like you said, it's too much.
Takes too long.
What about the What's
It's
it
a
called?
world-class save, by the way. It is, like, again, talking. We said last week about Gigi Donnarumma, and there's only a couple of goalkeepers that could make that save in world football. Like, same sort of thing, really.
yeah,
there's not many goalies in world football that are making
And it's
that
moments,
save,
isn't it? Because it was a poor game, by all accounts. Ethan's a massive Villa
I watched
fan,
that one.
And he actually come out for a bit. He said it's not good.
I may have been on the old phone at times.
But to then, obviously, set-piece game again, win on a set-piece. They're a little bit unlucky, Brighton, weren't they? I think it comes off Inglewood's shoulder and flies in. But the other big thing from the game really was Milner equaling Barry's
I've got a
record,
statement to make about it. I've got a statement. I've got a thought on it, right?
Let's go.
I've been reading a lot on the internet about people trying to diminish...
Don't.
Trying to diminish his achievement, saying that he's played 150 less games than Gareth Barry, but he's still got the same amount of appearances. Seriously, what a load of rubbish.
I know.
Mate,
I know.
This guy is the epitome of, like...
He's played 4 seasons less.
longevity and just absolute unit.
I
like,
know.
Giving everything he's got to be this top-level professional football into his 40s is just it's absolutely incredible. There's no way you can diminish it. If you have that outlook on something like this, then you are inherently a pessimistic, negative person.
I agree.
And I don't ever want to talk to you because you don't belong anywhere near me.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
So
that's
if you make a comment about the minutes...
Yeah, but if the first comment you make is a negative... one about this.
Don't speak to Fozzie.
Then you've got pessimism in your soul, and I do not want to know you.
Okay.
I don't live in that
Give
world.
the man some credit.
Give him his flowers, baby.
It's a phenomenal.
What about Ollie Hertzler was having a little bit of a cry and a whinge on the sideline about Ollie Watkins' potential elbow, but how are you meant to jump like that?
I didn't really see that, to be fair. Look, he's under pressure, isn't he? You know, obviously.
He is a bit, isn't he?
1 in 13 they've won. What's that?
Weekend against Palace. A very tough game at Villa, for sure. And his team were in it. I mean, it probably deserved a draw, if truth be told.
I still feel they're a bit unlucky, Brian.
But it seems that way.
They seem to keep losing by the odd goal where they shouldn't have lost.
They're not getting pumped.
Yeah, they shouldn't have lost by the odd goal, though. They've always seemed to be the better team. Not the better team, but genuinely 50-50 should have probably won it or should, and they're just losing.
You walk away from that with a draw. They probably should have drawn at least the weekend game. Yeah. But that's where football now becomes... And with the sacking season in full flow...
They're a well-run club, though. They're not a knee-jerk club.
I agree.
But Frank would be a great fit.
Wouldn't he just, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But that now puts pressure on all these managers, doesn't it? Or clubs to make decisions, because somebody of his ilk being available has to stir the juices for the recruitment department, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't think they'll do anything. The fact that people like Brighton is the reason why they like them, is because they don't go doing silly things and sacking managers on a whim because they feel like it's ridiculous. Man United 1-0, last-minute goal. By the way, what a finish by Šeško.
Unreal.
What a finish
I've
by
never
Šeško.
thought he had that in the locker, because it's the only place it can go.
Mate, it's the toppest of top corners, right? There's an angle from behind where it goes, and I mean, like, the toppest of top corners. And I had to watch it back a couple of times to go, how has he struck that, by the way? Did it bounce first? Did he? But he didn't. He loosens his foot. Right?
It's like it's come right off his big toe, hasn't it?
So it's an unreal skill, yeah? He's had to loosen his ankle, right? And literally just whop it at it like that. And he's not trying to do it hard. He's trying to take pace off the ball. He's just trying to guide it. But from that angle he's running at, the angle that the ball's come at, he's got to loosen his ankle so much and just softly hit it. And oh my God, it was beautiful.
I think Nuno's at the side thinking that's a shit cross.
Yeah, mate, I'll take that all day.
We've seen this one out here, because they'd loaded the box, got some big players in, thinking, he's not hit that well, that cross. And all of a sudden, honestly, I think you give him another 1,000 attempts. I don't think he scored it.
As soon as Hermansen dived for it, I thought, this is. Because when a goalie is fully diving, like a desperation dive, you know it's close, yeah? It's either going to hit the post or it's going in or just what. And I'm thinking, it's in the back of the net.
Well,
Unbelievable.
I'd just been to watch Oxford v... Who did I watch? Oxford v... on Tuesday night.
Great game, yeah?
Norwich. Right? So I'm sat in the lounge after...
Was it just two yellow teams running around?
No, actually, Norwich played in pink. Bloody awful kit. Anyway, so I've just finished watching Oxford-Norwich, and I'm in the lounge after, and Lee Hendry's just gone absolutely bonkers because of this finish. I'm thinking, I just have to see this finish. And I think, as I've just said, you could watch it a million times.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he can do it again.
Well, it's interesting. What I found interesting is that kind of Carrick juggernaut has not come to a grounding halt, because a point is still a point.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what United do now, because their next 6 games are fairly favourable.
Yeah,
in terms of Premier League, they've got Everton away, Palace home, Newcastle away, Villa home, Bournemouth away, Leeds home.
Hey, a team in good form can win 5 of them.
In a row?
No, yeah. Probably not in a row. They'll do 4 and draw the last one. But a team really flying and really popping looks at that and goes, yeah, mate, they're winnable.
There's none there that is really going to scare them.
Villa scares you. Villa.
At Old Trafford, though.
Yeah, Villa are a problem either way. It'll be a tough game either way. And they'll have a score to settle Villa because Man United did them at the end of last season.
Last game of the
season to stop them getting Champions League football.
But I think for Carrick, that momentum just to get that goal. Because if it had been a 1-0 win for West Ham, it like really puts the handbrake on.
Yeah.
That shows that they're all at it. There's a will to fill the box late on. There's a will to keep driving forward for him, the club, and what Man United is. And obviously everybody starts talking about Fergie time because it's a late goal. But it epitomises what he's done in his tenure so far.
I'd love to know what subtle changes or big changes he has made around the building. Has he said, right, has he gone into the detail of, lads, when you're having your lunch, you sit together, or I want you to make an effort to speak to this person or that person. What has he done? I'd love to know the small details which made Man United for so many years.
It looks like it's going back to that.
But I don't think that's anything like special. I think that should be just the way it goes. I think footballers gotten so loose with the way that players and clubs are run nowadays that they've got so far away from the basics that just bringing the basics back is like a massive deal.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I agree.
And I think he would have been in there going, right, lads, by the way, when you're on the pitch for us, you work and I want to see these numbers. These are the numbers I want to see higher. They have to be higher. And if they're not high enough, you'll be out of the team. Simple as that. And then around the building, around the place, being respectful, picking up all your laundry and your shit and your plates and talking to people and being personable.
Little things. Have you ever experienced a manager, Ben, or you, Otto, where they talk to you about your conduct around the pitch, the training ground? So what I'm saying is, when they're jogging out, when they're walking out for warm-up, and maybe they're trotting out, have you ever experienced it where a manager will go, right, when you go out, I want you to run out, don't walk out, I want you to acknowledge the fans. Are these conversations that you've been involved with that level of detail?
Yeah, you have football clubs that do it and managers that do it. Adi Boothroyd was massive on that. Nigel Pearson was massive on that as well.
With that kind of thing?
With that kind of thing. All the little details that we would have done anyway as footballers back in the day. You go out with your boots already tied up. As a goalie, I'd go out with my gloves already on. Yeah, I am running out to show that I am up and ready to go. I'm not rolling out my shoulders down and with my coat on, little walks, like no chance.
I mentioned it last year, but I went to Bilbao United last year, and I mentioned it at the time. And the three got Bayande, Onana, and Tom Heaton came out, and Bayande and Onana walked out so slowly for the warm up, didn't acknowledge. And Tom Heaton is number 3, and he is jogged out, and he's clapped all the fans, and you go, they're the small things that made that club the club they were.
He comes from an era where there was no other option but to do that. Yeah. You don't do that. If you walked out slowly, you'd have a player running up behind you, punching you or smacking you and going, run out now. Or you'd have a manager, run out now, and you'd be in massive trouble for not doing that. That should just be the way that it goes.
Everything sets a tone, doesn't it? Yeah. I were interested to see Keith Andrews, and I think that's the way he's gone into his management style last week, the week before at Villa, when they'd had a man sent off. All the players wanted to get onto the ref at half-time, even though they'd just scored. But he walked on. The philosophy is we're running off. Yeah. And get off, leave it, it's done. Yeah. And I think certain standards will drive your club and your team forward.
Massively. I saw some training ground footage of Keith Andrews the other day, actually, on Instagram. I don't know whether it was from the summer or the context around it, but it was really interesting seeing how he interacted with the players. It was so impressive.
Yeah, Keith's brilliant, mate. Keith's
so impressive.
He's class. I was at West Brom with him for a season, I think, maybe 2, and he was unreal. Love Keith the best. What a lovely guy.
And West Ham, by the way, just quickly before we move on, West Ham...
Mate, they were decent. Mate. Like I've just looked at relegation betting odds here. Yeah, who do you think? Obviously, we're counting that Wolves and Burnley are done, right? Yeah. What do you think the betting is then for that next place? Who do you think is the favourite right now?
Forest.
I would say West Ham have to be the favourite because they're there.
It's still West Ham, 5-6, which means they're odds on still to get relegated.
So what's the price of them to stay up?
Forest are 11-4 to get relegated.
Wow.
2 and a bit to 1. Yeah?
I ain't sure.
Do you know what I mean? 2 and 3/4 to 1 to get relegated, Forest are. I'm like, I wouldn't discount West Ham now. No chance on this earth.
I'm with you.
Well, there's not going to be a load of managers running to knock on Maracas's door
no,
to say, come on, I want to manage this team.
Tottenham are 13-2, by the way. Leeds 10-1. But yeah, the odds are suggesting that West Ham's still odds-on favourite, and then Forest at 11-4.
Well, the only winners from that last-minute goal would have been Forest, especially having the Wolves fixture.
They'd have been buzzing watching that goal go, honestly. And Spurs would have been watching it buzzing as well.
Watto, a Groundhog Day, right? Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. João Pedro running across the box, away from goal.
What's he doing?
Biol
What's he doing?
has got 2 hands, identical to the Wolves game, and shoved him in the back. 2 hands.
Mate, to get 2 instances like that, and we've had 2 shows this week to
Same
have the
player,
same thing.
club.
Honestly, mate, I cannot believe. I think if I'm at that football club, having seen the Wolves one, you want to do him 2 weeks' wages, but having seen it and then you get the same. What do you do as a coach or manager there? Seriously, it's absolutely, it's ridiculous.
Cole Palmer's going, you silly fucker.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
How running away from goal?
Oh my God! Honestly,
There's zero
beggars
excuse for
belief.
I watched this one as well, actually, because this was on Tuesday night, and this was the game that I chose to watch.
Right.
And Chelsea, I thought, when they went 2-0 up, I thought, wow, this is this is easy. They were just picking them apart, and they had Cole Palmer running through the middle, looking absolutely $1 million. And then just out of nowhere, Leeds just got back into it, and the levelling goal to make it 2-2 was an absolute like shambles. Just to me, to you, I'm going to come and get involved. As soon as Sanchez comes in that little place there, I'm just thinking, no, this is asking for trouble. And he's out of position. The ball falls somebody, and it was crazy. To be fair,
Was it
really,
handball?
really was.
Because Rossini was annoyed.
Yeah. Possibly, probably, but they looked at it at VAR and that's it. It is what it is.
Again, VAR. Surely it's common sense.
Mate, we've
Ball
seen,
hits his hand.
How many times in the last few weeks have we seen handballs that haven't been given as handballs? Remember Iana doing it, where he literally did that and stopped it, and that wasn't given as a handball. So I don't know anymore. I don't know, mate.
What do you make?
They make a decision as and when they want to.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think it's 50-50. If it is somebody's hand in the box now, it's 50-50.
Yeah, whether
one
they
day it's a
decide
penalty, one day it's not. I don't think the thing is anything with it. What you have to say is it's a phenomenal point for Leeds.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But how Palmer missed the chance that everybody sees it, and, you know, like you do crossing and finishing drills day in, day out of the ground and the training. But when somebody fires it across like that and there's so many bodies, you think you only need that contact, and sometimes it's not enough. I mean, it's just so difficult, but for somebody of his quality, you'd expect
probably
him to
miss of the season.
I think it will be. Yeah, that could be miss of the decade.
You'll do well to beat that this season. You will,
for sure.
For a player of his ability as well. Sunderland lost their home record, lads.
Yeah.
I watched little bits of this because this was a slightly later kickoff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I got the end of the first half, I got the end of the second half. And any time I looked at it, Sunderland, I thought, you know what? They're not bad, you know. This isn't a foregone conclusion, Liverpool just going to win this or whatever. But yeah, it was okay.
Did VVD get accredited with that goal?
Yeah, he did. I think he probably...
Lucky boy.
Yeah,
Lucky boy.
He got him in his fancy team. And I was praying to God it was aiming for the post, but I think it was probably just going post.
17-pointer for VVD.
Yeah, no, it's massive. Absolutely massive. Mo Salah looked decent again. He did.
Yeah, do you know what? He's starting to look quite sharp, isn't he?
Did.
And actually, you said about Brighton earlier on. And, you know, when the ball's running for them, sometimes you just think with Mo Salah, the couple of times it just goes the wrong side of the post. But I don't feel like he's far away from a few rolling in. Do you know what I mean?
He's got his bite back as well, because there was a moment on the corner of the 18-yard box, I think it was the second half or whatever, where he's tried to cut inside and the defender's just gone move and bullied him off the ball and ran away with it. And then Mo Salah's gone, no, hang on a minute, I'm not having this. He's got back in, won the ball back off him again and drove and managed to get a corner. And I thought, I like that, because there's a lot of players that would have just gone, and just let him run away with it there. But no, he had that little bite about him.
Big win, though. We can't underestimate Sunderland.
Massive win. In tough conditions, the pitch and the ball didn't look like it were always free-flowing football.
It's tough pitch, isn't it?
Yeah, tough pitch.
I think they like that, though, Sunderland.
Yeah,
I think
certainly
they like that.
on a night game. But I thought Salah and Wirtz looked like they're getting a combination with them. But the work ethos of the team to win that game were phenomenal. I think they should have scored 2 or 3 opportunities in the open play stuff. They rely on a set play again. I didn't think Roofs were very good on the
he
on
got
the
lost
corner.
in there, didn't he? Yeah.
But I think that's what you're going to come back to if you talk about goalkeeping. I think in the summer, the profiling of what's going to be required, because the quality of balls coming in, you're going to be looking back again at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and a physicality to try and deal with them kind of situations. And he wasn't great on the goal.
Liverpool probably the big winners actually of this game week, to be honest with you, because with Man United drawing and Chelsea drawing as well, it's massive for Liverpool.
Game on top 4, isn't it?
Yeah, game on top
Big
4.
time.
3 points behind Man United now. Liverpool are, so that's massive for them. We've got a couple more left. Our boy Strand Larsen. What a player.
Yeah.
What a signing, by the way. Honestly, money well spent.
I have to say, the second goal
Phenomenal.
from a striker's
What a
perspective,
run, mate.
yeah, he's in behind. It's like the old school, right? If you see the number on the guy's back, you've got him, and he's in behind him, and he just dives across, timing,
Everything.
agility.
First goal was decent as well.
good finish.
Unreal ball from Wharton, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Strand Larsen, we joked about it last week, didn't we? And you were like, bargain, he looked shit hot. And he scored the same amount of goals in 2 games as he has for Wolves all season in the Premier League.
Sometimes a player just needs a breath of fresh air,
Yeah, do you know
like
what
a
I
new
mean?
release.
He's
yeah?
a funny one. Like, he is a good player. He's not gonna lead the line across the pitch like Mateta will.
Yeah.
He's not going to stretch the defence like Mateta will. But what I would say about Strand Larsen is I would say he's probably a cuter finisher than Mateta. And actually, he's got legs around him.
Yeah.
Like, you've got people like Sarr, and actually, if he can stay down around at that kind of middle of the pitch, he will score.
Has he got
some
the
goals,
ability
yeah.
to throw one in? When I say throw one in, I mean just not be arsed sometimes. Because what I've seen from him so far, he looks so willing, and he's making little runs, and he's ratting, and he's doing everything.
There
like,
was a bit of that accused at Wolves.
Yeah, so that's my only problem with it, is it's brilliant at the minute, and if you can get that 100% of the time, then you've got an absolute bargain. You've got a player.
Yeah.
But the problem is that he has shown that sometimes he doesn't.
But
do
what
that.
players don't these days?
Yeah,
when there's that move on the table from Wolves to a Palace for 45 mil on presumably 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
What player nowadays doesn't do that?
Yeah.
No, and I think what's happening at Palace, he'll be always having the bit between his teeth, because now he's come in as that signing, and ultimately Glasner's leaving, so he can't just switch off come the summer and start, I did this, I did that. No, new manager, bounce again. So he's going to have to be really at it, and as you've said, when he's been at Wolves and at it, there's a good player in there.
So the mentality of managers, right? Want to ask you this, Watto. So we think Thomas Frank would be a really, really good fit for Palace, right?
Yeah.
So if Palace approached him and Glasner's got to the end of the season, if you were Thomas Frank now, right now, these guys are really driven, these managers. Would he want to get in and make his mark with 13, 14 games left in the season? Or would this kind of guy go, do you know what, I'm going to have few months now, I'm going to go on holiday, and then if I've got the deal sewn up and go in pre-season? What's the mentality like?
I think with what's just happened at Spurs, I will think it will have sucked the life out of him, and I think he'll need a recharge. But most managers, unless it's a desperate situation for the club, want to get in that first day of pre-season. You can plan to the minute detail what you want, how you want your pre-season. Maybe if he has a chat with them early, he can even try and organise what the trip is, what the trip's not. I mean, normally they'll probably be done now because of the money to go to Asia or whatever. But to go in for pre-season and have that block of time will be more than enough for the very, very top.
Yeah, I don't think he would want to go into Palace, especially the situation where they're in, where they can still get sucked into a relegation fight.
Yeah.
I would imagine that his stock
Nice
is
clean
still...
start.
Yeah, his stock is so high that he's like, right, let's just chill for...
Yeah, I
let's
think
leave
get
it for
back
the
to
last few-
Denmark, get a few Heineken down you, and chill for a
There you
couple of
go.
months.
That's Holland, Netherlands, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, what's that? Oh, Carlsberg, isn't it? Shit. Oh, shit. That's because I don't drink lager.
No, you drink all the Guinness, don't you?
Yeah, that's it.
Kobe Mainu. Adam
What are the
Wharton.
Danish famous for? Clogs? Is that
No, that's
Danish?
Dutch as well.
Dutch as well.
Christ.
What are the Danish famous
Danish.
Bacon?
Bacon.
Bacon.
Yeah, pork.
Bacon and Carlsberg.
The Schmeichels.
Schmeichel.
for? Michaels, yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. Haven't they got the world's best restaurant? Haven't they got
Norway,
that?
isn't it?
No, haven't
Sandwiches, rye bread, meatballs.
they? Rye bread.
Meatballs, I would have banked on that being Sweden.
Yeah.
Denmark.
Yeah. Have you ever been?
No.
I'd love to go. It's
might
meant
have
to be,
done.
meant
Might
to
have
be
done
amazing, isn't it? That was a tangent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Adam Wharton, Kobe Mainu, Elliot Anderson, missing some air. Who starts for England? Next to Declan Rice. Let's assume next to Declan Rice, the 2 sixes.
Elliot Anderson.
Yeah?
Yeah. It will.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it will.
Well, he's done very, very well.
He's done very well for him, and Tuchel's just loyal.
What about
ridiculous?
What about Kobe?
I think
Played
he's
in the
definitely, if he carries on playing the way he's been doing, I think he's got a chance of getting on the plane for sure.
Who do you think should start?
Elliot Anderson.
What about you, Walter?
Yeah, I probably would be with him at the minute, and I think Tuchel will probably stick with that. But honestly, mate, I think what this England squad could look like in the summer, I think if you're a betting man, I don't think you get anywhere near.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're that good.
Yeah.
And obviously, look, take the injury. If everybody's fit and well, I still don't think you can pick that squad.
No.
Because there's that much talent.
Tommy Tuchel signed a new deal, by the way. Have you heard? Have you read?
Is it official?
Apparently it is. And
2 years.
So it's a 2-year deal. And originally it was till after the World Cup.
Well, why now and why?
Maybe because Man United were sniffing like dogs around him, and it would have been a possibility. But by him signing this deal, just rules him out of all of that talk now as well. It puts it to bed, and I think the focus can be on the England team.
And
instead.
if you were a player for England, whichever squad is picked, would you want to be going to that World Cup thinking or knowing that your manager's off to Man
Do you
United
care
to
with
go with
England? Do you care with England, Ben? Do you really care? Like you just go to England, don't you? Are you really that bothered if he's going to be there?
I wouldn't care, and I don't think many would, but I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. I'm there to do my job. I'm there to do a job, and that's all there is to it. So
But what happens in that moment if he's telling you to do something that you don't believe, or there's a tactic, or he's putting one on you for something, and you know he's off? Does it change it? But you knowing that he's still got another 2 years?
Yeah, possibly, yeah. You know, if he's got another 2 years, you know he's in this for a long haul, yeah?
Yeah, and if you want to be...
You trust in him. I agree a little bit to that point, I agree to that point.
And what about Scotty Parker? Do you know what? I'd love to see him smile a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not having a brilliant season. It's tough. It's always going to be tough for a team like Burnley. He's let out some emotion. He's come under a little bit of stick. But is he in danger of taking himself a bit too seriously, Watto?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, look...
I just smile. You've won a game. It's a great win.
And it's nice, surely, to let the pressure cooker off and have a laugh and a joke at the end of the
Especially
game.
being 2-0 down in the 39th minute and then being 3-2 up at half-time.
Yeah, that'll not happen again to him.
That's
in the Premier
unreal.
League.
In the Premier League, I know what you mean a little bit.
I just enjoy it.
Yeah,
just
I do,
smile.
yeah.
Like
just be normal.
Like,
be real.
I can't imagine him having a crack with the lads around the training ground. You just can't. From what you see in the public persona, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Is it a super serious place to work?
It can't be. It's obviously not working if it is then.
No.
Right, we've got one more game to go, and then we've got the quiz. It's Everton against Bournemouth.
Don't lead with what I've put on the notes.
Don't lead with the bit at the top that says Barry's not very good. He's cost them points this season.
You've changed the terminology. Thank you very much.
What's your problem with Tierno Barry, mate?
What, he can't hit about a barn door with a banjo.
He missed some big chances, didn't he?
He did
in the
miss
game?
some big
Yeah.
chances.
And actually, you'll probably appreciate this. If he's a goalkeeper or centre-back, he is dropped weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but he is.
It's a luxury that these strikers can enjoy, mate. As long as they hit the back of the net once in a
7 games.
a few weeks, and you're all right. Your place is going to be set. But unless,
Because no one talks about losing points from the top end of the pitch. Like, maybe that's a bit harsh, but actually, when you watch him playing, some of the movement, some of the ball striking, even where you kind of go, that's fairly rudimentary skill to have to kick a ball clean.
The only thing I can say about him is he got in the right areas, and if you get in the right areas,
true that you've always got a
more
chance.
than enough, you'll get your chance.
You've always got a chance.
The one player that breathed the biggest sigh of relief is the Bournemouth goalie Petrovic.
Yeah.
For the first opportunity
not
from
wrong.
the dipping free kick, didn't deal with it in any way, shape, or form. Got very fortunate, and obviously he shanks it wide on his left foot.
Buzzing. You don't get away with them.
You
them ones
don't
normally.
get away
You
with
do
them
not
very
normally get
often.
away with them ones.
As a goalie.
You do not.
But Everton played really well.
Yeah, they did.
Really
They
well.
did play really well.
Should have been out of sight, and then
Bournemouth
obviously
have turned it round. Bournemouth have turned it round from being absolutely dead and buried and not winning, can't win. They're up to 9th
But
now.
Iraola's another one, isn't he?
They're dead without
Is he
doubt. Yeah.
not signed his contract?
No, he's not signed his contract.
top manager, yeah? And he will have seen what's happened to Frank, and if Spurs have been anywhere near him, red flags. I'd rather stay here, 100%.
Really?
Yeah,
So, all right
honestly,
then.
mate.
What
I don't
about-
think you can feel as though you can do it.
So what if he's on 60 grand a week at Bournemouth, and Tottenham come in and offer him 120. Double your money.
Well, he's fucking running there then.
Well,
Because he knows he's going to get a payoff, doesn't he?
Is it that simple?
Well, it would have to be if you put it in them terms.
Football's been ruined by money.
Yeah, but is it that simple? That, is there an element of pragmatism where he goes, do you know what? I'm good here at Bournemouth.
From a professional point of view, I'm 100% with everything we spoke about in this show already about Spurs. I'm sticking where I'm at. But if you are saying what you've just said and it's double your money, you're fucking running there because you know in 8 months' time you're also getting a payoff.
It's true, mate. How much is Thomas Frank getting a payoff for, apparently? It's like 15 mil or something, isn't it, Jamie? It's ridiculous money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why wouldn't you do it? Like, that's what I'm saying. Football's been ruined by money now because unless you can be so sure that the person you are giving that contract to is not going to affect them and they're still going to do their job to the top of their ability. So it's so easy to go, right, wow, I've got money for life now. You get the cigar out.
Is it not a case of that they go, if things don't go well, then I'm on the rebuild? Like what Nuno's had to do when he got bombed out of Spurs. He's had to rebuild Nuno, and he's done it very, very successfully.
I think Areola would go to Spurs in a heartbeat because, one, he'd get more money, but I don't think that would be the driving factor. I think the fact that he can look at it and go, do you know what, this is a big juggernaut of a team, and I would back myself to be able to turn it round.
What makes them a big juggernaut of a team? The training ground and the turnover
revenue,
and the stadium?
Global appeal, revenue. The money that club makes is what makes them a big club.
I'll go on to revenue just because, like, one of my 2,000 Instagram followers posted a very interesting thing to me 2 days ago. We have the debate about Rangers and Celtic, don't we? Hell of a lot. And he pointed out the size of Rangers Stadium and said it can't even compete with the West Ham in terms of what you can build with revenue. So until they can build bigger stadiums, Celtic Park's slightly different, but unless Rangers can put another 20, 30,000 on, they're never going to be able to compete with the revenue. So I thought it was a very good point. Just
Match day revenue
revenue
is different. Spurs are one of the highest in the world.
Why are you bringing the Rangers and Celtic story
just
back
because
in? You're trying to get me back in trouble again.
It flew into me head, and I know you like discussing it.
Jake O'Brien, red card?
Yeah, it was a red card. It was a second yellow card. It was
100% red card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't see him there, and he's too quick, and he's in, and it's a second yellow card. They happen.
And Rayan, he's the next one.
Looks lovely, looks great. Fantastic signing for Bournemouth. Again, another gem that they've unearthed. Fair play to them.
Adley looks great. Groupie looks great.
They're very good at doing it.
Next batch, isn't it?
Very.
It's almost like they plan for when like Semenyo will get bored.
I know they had a sticky run, but they could get Europe quite easily with the quality they've got and the manager.
In the Bees League, isn't it? Was it Toes last week? Yeah. Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, in their little mini league of well-run football clubs. And it could be disrespectful, but it's not.
No, God, no.
But Spurs need to take a step back, whoever's in charge, and have a look at that. Not because Spurs want to, if I'm right in saying, regress to the size of club that these are, but if you run it properly, you can then actually go and facilitate what you want to be.
They're success stories, mate. They are like Bournemouth, Brentford. They are massive success stories.
I think Bournemouth potentially is the biggest out of the lot. Yeah. I mean,
from where they've come from, without doubt.
Eddie Howe, unbelievable job he did.
Totally agree.
Their stadium's, 12,000?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, so we just talk about what we're on about, revenues. They can't compete with anybody in the league.
They reckon it's a lovely club to play for, don't they? Do you remember, they reckon the players are quite involved in the community. Remember Frankie, our older dad, used to say, he said they would always really get involved in the community. You'd always see them milling around.
Down by the beach, coffee shop and... Nice cold water dipping in the morning.
Nice part of the world to live, I can tell you that.
Should we do the quiz, lads?
Let's do it.
Well done today, you lot. Proud of you lot. Good little midweek bonus episode, this, isn't it? Come on, Jamie, let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. We've all got our predictions for the Premier League, but every now and again, you absolutely nail it. Honestly, getting proved right feels great. So if you think you've got the instincts for it, put them to the test with Coke Zero's new challenge, Guess the Goals. All you've got to do is grab a Coke Zero, scan the QR code, and guess how many match week goals are going to be scored in total. If you guess correctly, you'll be entered into a prize draw with 1,000 official Premier League footballs to be won every week. Grab a Coke Zero and play Guess the Goals today. T&Cs apply. See coke.co.uk/plgoals-terms.
Right, everyone, welcome back to the quiz. Scores on the doors are getting close. Tom, you're on 7. Toes is on 6. Ben, you're on 6. And Watto, you're on 5. It's all to play for.
I have come out of nowhere, by the way.
You have, and I am telling you this, can people stop coming up and saying that we're basically... Every single day I get someone going, you're crap at the quiz. You go, it's not as easy when you're under pressure.
I'm not famous for nothing, but I'm famous for being shit at the quiz. So we might as well just accept it.
We're all shit at the quiz, okay.
Yeah.
Jamie highlights it every week.
As
How
long as
crap we
people
are.
enjoy watching, yeah, that's all. But just no need to call us.
Yeah, we're trying really... Well, I am, anyway.
Well, let's hope you get some right this week, lads.
Come on.
Ready? Question 1. Where did Chelsea sign Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank from?
Leeds.
Feyenoord.
No.
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid is the correct answer for 15 million.
Good answer. Good knowledge.
Good knowledge.
Good knowledge.
Won't get clipped out though.
He went from Leeds to Atletico back to
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Chelsea. Yeah.
Question 2. Waitrose was the front of shirt sponsor for
Reading.
what team in the 2012-2013 Premier League
Good
season?
answer. It's
Reading.
always going to be Reading.
Yeah,
Royals.
Yes.
Reading. You'd have been fuming if
Good answer,
Tom got
that.
that right.
Yeah, I would have been.
Good answer.
Question 3. Steve Finnan ended his career at what club?
Blackpool.
No, no,
Fulham.
no. All back in.
That's an unreal answer.
Steve Finnan ended
Wrong.
his career
Yeah, I know.
at what club?
Birmingham.
No,
Wigan.
no. He said Wigan.
Bolton.
No. All out. The answer is Portsmouth.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, he did, yeah.
Did he win the FA Cup with them?
Possibility.
Possibility, a little 1-0.
That Portsmouth team, by the way.
Harry at the wheel.
Yeah.
Question,
Did spend some money.
question 4. What English striker left Liverpool in 2004 to join Birmingham City?
Heskey.
Emil Heskey is the correct answer. Well done, Ben.
So bad that
Well done.
Mate, he played some serious games for England, you know, Emil Heskey.
Yeah, I know he did.
Scored some serious goals as well, by the way.
Only about 50-odd games for England.
Yeah,
wasn't
mate,
it?
watch the England-Germany where we beat them 5-1. Heskey in that game.
Celebration?
Oh, he's a joke. Yeah, really good, isn't it?
I seen him
did.
score 4 goals for Liverpool at Derby, and he did that celebration. It's unbelievable.
What a
He's lads,
mate.
he's had lads at City now, isn't he?
Is he? Yeah. He was a player.
Is
you
it
know,
City?
Heskey.
He's lads?
I don't know. I don't.
Chef Wednesday.
Yeah, good. Well done.
Is that a point
Not
for the
City.
quiz?
Yeah.
Good knowledge, Scotty.
Scores on the doors.
2-1-0.
Question 5. In Premier League history, who is the only Bulgarian footballer to have been named as a permanent captain? In Premier League,
Stilian Petrov.
Stilian Petrov is the correct answer.
Very
yeah,
good.
for Aston Villa.
Oh, Stan.
Very good.
Good player.
Good player.
Question 6. Who was Huddersfield Town's top scorer during their first season in the Premier
Rhodes.
League in 2017-18 season?
Common sense.
No and no. Who was Huddersfield Town top goal scorer during their first season in the Premier League in the 2017-18 season?
I want to say someone, but I don't know if he was there.
Go for it, Tom. 5,
No, it's ridiculous.
4.
I don't know. Aaron Moy.
Aaron Moy is not.
Oh, I thought you were
I was going to jump in with
No,
Aaron
he
Moy.
was there, and that must be close, by the
Yeah.
way.
I was
All back
jumping in
in.
with Aaron Moy like you wouldn't believe, by the way.
I think it's the only player I can think of.
Aaron Moy is 3rd with 4 goals.
Good air, mate.
Go on.
Billing.
No, not Billing.
Go on.
You get another answer.
We're all back in.
No, it's wrong. Go on.
Huddersfield. Ah!
What season?
17,
The first
18.
season. The first season.
Fraser
stayed up.
Campbell.
No.
He weren't even there, was he? They never played for him.
5, 4.
know.
You out?
Yeah.
Pass. Steve Mooney. Steve Mooney, 7 goals.
Was he a Kiwi?
Billing must have been close.
Was he a Kiwi? Steve Mooney?
If it weren't Moy or Billing,
no. Aussie?
Moy,
No.
Billing's not on there. Moy's 3rd, and you got Laurent
Steve
Deportry.
Mounier?
Yep, Steve Mounier.
I was going to say, it's not Moon.
no,
Yeah.
it's
This one.
That one.
M-U-N-I-E in it.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Spelt what?
Steve Mounier.
Yeah,
It was Mounier, weren't it?
and then he's in 2nd.
Yeah.
Moy.
Laurent.
All right.
Benin. He played for Benin.
2-0.
Wow.
Question 7. Who was the #1 goalkeeper at Charlton Athletic when they got relegated from the 2006-07
It's Dean Carley, I
season?
hate you.
It's not Dean Carley. I'm not hated. Lovely. Who was the #1 GK at
Scott
Charlton Athletic when they got relegated in the 2006-07 season? It is Scott Carson. He was on loan from Liverpool.
Yes, he was.
So Ben, you're a 3-1-0.
3-2-0.
3-2 now.
3-2-0.
How many questions left?
3. You can still come back, Watto.
Come on, you didn't have a skinful last night. You should be sharp.
I know, it should be better.
Question 8. Who was the first Premier League club Andy Reid played for?
Forest.
No.
Oh, it's too easy. It's
Charlton.
too obvious.
No.
Andy Reid.
Don't let him fucking do this.
Who was the first
Come on.
Premier League club Andy
No,
Reid
stop
played for?
reading it again. Just hurry him up.
I'm giving a yellow card, Ben, for that. I'm not having it.
Good refereeing.
Yellow
I don't know
card.
the answer.
5.
What was the question again?
4. 3.
I don't
2.
even know if you played for him.
1.
Blackburn.
No. All back in.
Leicester City.
No.
Oh, I've got 2.
What was the question? Sorry.
Yep, I'll say it one more time. Who was the first Premier League club Andy Reid played for?
Tottenham.
Tottenham's the correct answer. Tottenham is the correct
He
answer.
moved to Tottenham from Forest, I think.
Yeah.
And
You're winning
but
now, so
Tottenham,
stop
but
your
Forest
crying.
weren't
Is that
Championship.
4?
Stop your crying, you baby. You baby.
Question 9. Career path question. I have played for Tottenham, Newcastle, Birmingham.
Steve Carr.
Steve Carr's the correct answer. Well done, Tom. Final question. Question 10.
What's the score?
4-3-0.
Come on.
Tony Pulis's first managerial club
fuck
came
off.
at what club?
What was the question? I'll shout it.
Tony Pulis's first managerial job
Bristol City.
came at what club? It is not Bristol City.
Cheltenham.
Not Cheltenham. 5, 4, 3.
Bristol Rovers.
No. All back in.
I've got 2.
Plymouth.
No. Not Plymouth.
Torquay.
Not Torquay.
Exeter.
No,
it
not
Bournemouth?
Exeter. The answer's Bournemouth.
I
Yeah.
knew it. I knew it.
The
I knew
answer's
it.
Bournemouth.
I knew it was Bournemouth as
And
well.
with that, Ben, you have won the quiz. Well
On
done.
to- on to 7.
4-0. On to 7. Joint top.
He's like Crescencio Somerville.
Honestly,
Dolce
resurgence,
performance
Yeah.
mate.
from me.
What is going on with you?
There we go. Well done.
I'm sure you'll
7-0.
drop off after a few
I'm
days
sure
away.
I was 7-1 up against you.
Yeah, you were, mate. It was embarrassing
Yeah,
at
it
one
was.
point.
I think you were about 6-0-0-0-0-0.
I had to keep saying, "Oh, stop, stop, yeah, stop."
What a win.
You're
Well
ruining it.
done. Well done.
Well done,
Yeah.
mate.
Good quiz today,
Good
mate.
quiz
Well
today,
done.
Jay.
Thank
Very
you.
A
good
little bit
quiz
of an
today.
older quiz today, weren't
Yeah,
it?
it was good. It was good. Watto?
Shite.
Must do better.
It's all right, well, you're fine. You're fine.
I'll sleep tonight, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what day is it today?
Thursday.
Next Thursday, we've got New Zealand #1 goalkeeper on the Fozcast. And how good was it?
Max Crocombe, what a boy. What a lovely, lovely boy. Seriously, fantastic episode. Brilliant talker, wasn't he?
Yeah, really good.
Really good.
episode,
Even
yeah.
like talked to you, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Like
did, yeah.
The minions, they normally just get left
Minions.
behind, but he actually talked to you.
Not when he was asking for coffee. Everyone ignored him.
Yeah, I just had to walk out the room. Didn't I?
Brilliant. Well done, lads. Lovely to see you all.
See you later.
soon. Bye-bye.